I don't get why it shows up so dark on my laptop. It just sucks. I'm gonna have to start setting it up to where I'm gonna try to get some candles to make this a little bit brighter. Give me 1 moment. One, two.
We'll do this all day if we have to. Save the rivers. Drink a pour seltzer. Help save a river.
Hey guys, I'm gonna do some readings, but before I do, let's light it up. I am doing good. Since I got a couple hours before I would actually have to hop off of the live, I figured I would jump on and do a few readings. How you guys doing over on YouTube? How did everyone's day treat them? Hello, King. Welcome. I'm doing good. I'm trying to add a little bit more light so I can do some readings. What about yourself? Everyone gets a 1-card draw. And if you subscribe, you get another one. And if you share the live, you get another one. That's if you'd like to know. Alright guys, I can actually do it now. I got light and it doesn't look like I'm in the Dark Ages. Wow. What do we got for you, my dear? Well, my dear, you're getting the same messages that you got last night. You need to learn your lesson. You need to figure out what the message is in the lesson. And only then can you have a new day. So I don't know what messages you're receiving, my dear, but you need to open up. King. Let me see what I can find for you, King. What does King need to know? What does King need to... King, right now you got an issue going on where you need to really think about it before you start doing anything about it. I'm assuming that there's somebody talking, and right now you're just observing in silence. Sometimes we gotta take the plunge. Hello, Am. How are you, my dear? What messages do we got for Am tonight? What messages do I got for Am tonight? What is that? Somewhat. Oh, I know what that is. Yep. I'm doing good. I ended up using one of my altar candle holders, and I'm smelling something, and I couldn't remember what it was, and then it hit me, and I was like, oh, I remember that smell. What do I got for you, my dear? What do I have for you? Oh, those jumped. Apparently, there's something that you're not wanting to sacrifice right now. And you're not giving it the time that you need to reflect on it. And then we got one that, or a couple actually. You're not getting the whole truth. And you're holding back. So it sounds like you got some stuff that you need to work on, my dear. You're very welcome, King. By the way, for anybody who's joining, if you want a reading, all you got to do is just comment. That's it. That's the thing about when it comes to Oracle. You get the gist, not everything in between. I'll probably end up doing a tarot, actual tarot, not Oracle. You're very welcome, my dear. Later in the week, probably Friday. Because let's be honest, if I'm going to do tarot, Mommy needs to drink a little bit. Because there's been someone that you've been talking to recently who's giving you a vibe that you're not quite sure about. I'm just being honest, King. Sometimes people's shit comes out and then they get all mad and then Mommy needs a drink. Unfortunately, right now I'm stuck with Mom Dew. But come Friday, I will have my Odin wine, which I'm super excited about. So I was reading your yes, several. And it says you need to have courage. So this means somebody that's intimidating you. Someone that I do my best after 3 drinks. Oh, the stories I could tell with the tarot readings I've done at shows, and I've been drunk. It's been fun. I've watched people get slapped because normally when I do a reading, especially if it's couples, which I do not like doing couples for this reason, I've seen quite a few men get slapped, and I've seen quite a few men walk out after a reading, and then they get mad at me. I can't do anything. What you do in your own life is your own life. When you give me the okay to come into your life and view it through the cards, I don't know what's going to come through. And that's why I always tell them, I don't like doing friends together. I know it's like, oh my God, let's go get our tarot read. But if there's shit that you don't want to come out, don't come get a reading. At least not from me. Okay, so I don't know, right, who this is going to pertain to, since I do got 2 lives going. But it says love without condition. So someone is holding back on their love when they need to actually put a little bit more effort into it. I feel like it's more over in this area than it is over in this area. Emily! Hi. I'm turning down my music. I feel like I have to yell. I do love my music though. Exactly, King. Facts. Sure, Emily, you get a question just like everyone else. Danny! Or wait. I'm going to call you Danny because I don't want to call you Dania because that's how it's looking. Dania. I mean, it's not bad, but I like Danny a little bit over there. Danny. Who is coming towards me in love? Who is coming towards Emily in love? Ooh. Emily, I don't know if you were in here when I pulled this card, but it's funny. Love without condition. I literally was reading this as I seen you pop up. And I don't know if you've seen it or not, but it popped out of me again. And a new day is dawn, which means new opportunity. Giving up to more of your darker attributes. Embrace the spirit. Oh, my dear, I am not getting much from these oracle cards. Give me one more second. Who is coming towards Emily in matters of love? Well, I'm going to assume it's going to be soon because it's two become one. So this may be somebody that you've already had a friendship with, that you started to feel feelings with, coming into play. How my next relationship be, please? Sure, my dear. Sorry, Emily. I know that's probably not what exactly you wanted. But, you know, once again, oracle cards just get the gist. Danny. So right now you got someone that is altering your perception, my dear. And hopefully I did not, and I think I just did, maybe. Give me 1 second. I'm back. So someone is altering the way that you perceive things. Or is going to be. Which could be a good thing or a bad thing. Will it be a good thing or a bad thing? Whatever it is, it's going to bring you close. But it's going to take you away from reality. So be careful on your next one. And yes, my dear, that was for you. Sorry, my computer is going irate on me today. High five, you got this. Thank you, dear. You're very welcome, my sweet. I've noticed, like, when I'm doing readings, and it's just an observation, that we get a lot of questions about love. A lot. Hello, Ari. How are you, my dear? If you want a reading, all you gotta do is ask in the comments below, and I will give you a free reading. May I know how my future relationship will be? Intense. The only reason I say that is because as I read your question, the candle to my right is flickering, and I don't got no air in here. As you can tell from my makeup starting to make my eyes look. Well, we'll go ahead. Mess the cards away. All right, my dear, give me one moment, and I will be right with you. If you want more than one card, feel free to share the live and subscribe. You got to look at the signs, which means when it comes to the relationship, it's going to be on the person. You're going to get signs of how their relationship's going to go, and it's up to you to read those signs. Hello, Ari. Give me 1 second, my dear. Let me zone out and ask for some divine intervention. Please tell me what is in Ari's future. What is in Ari's future? What is in Ari's future? Ooh, I haven't had this one pop up in a while. Be without malice. Sounds like someone's dark side is coming out. So who screwed you over? Who made you mad? Or who's on your shit list, I should say. You're very welcome, my dear. And since you followed, you get one more card, my dear. What else do we need to tell Ari? What else do I 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 need to tell Ari? Once again, two different cards. You're not really showing much. You're not giving them anything to go on. And it's even messing with you in your sleep. Don't let it control you. You control it. Fortunately, sometimes when we're going through things, the mind tends to do what it wants. But you always got to remember in the back of your mind that you are in control and no one else can control you. You put in the work, but right now it just seems like it's a little bit of a hobby. But you need to be more open with your thoughts. That's your key. If you share your opinion more than what you think people actually want, then yes. By the way, for anybody over here, if you want a reading, all you got to do is just comment down below. If you want an extra reading, invite some friends to the live. As long as they say your name, invited, then I will give you an extra reading. You are very welcome, my dear, and thank you. I appreciate you helping me with the live. By the way, and jump on here periodically throughout the day and the weekend. So you are more than welcome to jump on at any time and get a reading. What about love life? Well, let's take a look. But I will fair warn, these are oracle, not tarot. There is a difference. So if you want me to dive deep, you're going to have to wait till Friday when Mommy has her drink. What about love? Ooh, Jesus. Be patient, my dear. Focus more on the lighter aspects of it. And listen to your past mistakes. Listen to the ones around you. They've got advice. You just need to be willing to hear it. Oh, yes, my dear. I am a mom of two girls. One's a teenager going on 30, and the other one is my little princess. Whoever needs to hear it on either side, know the power. Know the power that you have. We each have our own strengths and weaknesses. Don't ever forget the things that make you go. What more can you tell me? Depends what more would you want. When you ask a question, you need to be a little bit more specific on what you're wanting to know. That's more of a broad general statement for tarot than it is for oracle. Hello, Alan. Welcome. Hey, Jess, how are you doing, my dear? Would you like a reading? For anybody who is joining, hello, my dear. Give me 1 second. I'll be right with you and I'll give you a reading. If you want an extra card, all you got to do is just share the live. That's it. And if you want an extra one more than that, you're not following me, feel free to. Two become one. Be patient. He's been missing for 3 months. That, my dear, is normally a question that I would do for tarot. But as I was reading your hellos and stuff before you asked about your cousin, I will tell you what, the oracle popped out. Now, if that's something that you want me to dive into, I can, but it takes a lot more energy than what I'm doing here. And it's a lot more personal. So I'm trying. Let me see what I can do. Give me a minute, my dear. So, this is one of the cards that popped up for you, is be patient. So it's all about timing. Focus on what you know to be true. And wash away your burdens. And 2 become 1. So with the 2 become 1, here's my question. Was your cousin with somebody? My name's Alana. Is it Alana? Yes, my dear. So you're telling me that your cousin had no contact with anybody else? Even at work, we run into people, my dear. And for you, my dear, you're not trusting in what you already know. You need to trust in the work that you put out there. And you're also not using your better judgment. Need and want are 2 different things. You need to find the balance between those. That is for you. Turns away for work. Jess, I'll tell you what, my dear. If you would go on Facebook, message me on the Devine Witch. When I get a chance, I will message you back and we'll actually set up a reading. That way I can try to help you as much as I can. Because oracles is not going to do it for you, my dear. Yes, you may, Sandra. Will my financial situation get any better? By the way, for anybody over here that wants a reading, all you got to do is comment. Can you do one for my baby brother? Yes, I can. Just give me 1 minute. Because right now I got YouTube and I've got TikTok on, so kind of give me a second. Will my financial situation get better? It'll get better as long as you learn and are doing everything that you can. It's not going to be easy. Because I think with what's going on right now, you got too much and too little. You need to do some cutting. Not everything is needed. Eventually, you're very welcome, by the way, Jess. I see you. You got to do some refinancing. You got to do something different. Because this wasn't just a situation that just happened. This is something that this has been a tumble, a spiral. It will get better, but you're going to have to work on some things that you don't want to get rid of yet. I would like to ask if Tamara thinks about me. He's a Cancer and I'm a Leo. So think about him. Give me 1 second, dear. I'm not forgetting you, I promise. You already know the answer. Can't ask if you already know. Just because you don't want to admit it, you already know the answer. And for your brother. Hello, VJ. How are you doing, my dear? Hear that, my dear? Sandra, you're letting your judgment cloud. You're very welcome. I can tell you this, your brother needs to stop focusing on things that have nothing to do with him. And this confirms it. Don't be putting your nose anywhere it doesn't belong. So what does it mean? So here's my question to you. You keep on going back and forth with what you think and what is. You kind of need to stop going back and forth. You already know. You know by the interaction. You just need to allow yourself to accept it. Give me 1 second, my dears. I've got a business partner messaging me, and I can't do it on my phone. Sure, Val. Just give me 1 moment. Okay, give me a minute. All right, I am back. I'm so sorry. Apparently someone retracted their messages. And for your sis. What are the cards telling us? Hello, Joey, dear. If you would like a reading, all you got to do is just comment. Give me 1 second. VJ has been here for a while, and I have yet to give them a reading. Hey, VJ, my dear. I'm so sorry. I forgot about you. I'll tell you what. One of the most popular cards that I've gotten is this New Dawn card. I don't know why all of you are going through this transformation. Maybe it's the seasonal change. I have no clue. But dear Lord. But VJ, you need to seek the answers within. You know, most of the time we want to ask the cards for the answers, but most of the time you already know it. And you're just looking for confirmation. So whatever you're looking for confirmation for, yes, that is your confirmation. Oh, snap. Don't put too much emotion into it, though. That's your warning. You want an all-in-one card, my dear? Well, here's your all-in-one card. Know your power. Know what it is that you possess that no one else can pull off. Here's the deal. I can't give everybody and the brother and the sister and the cousin and their fourth cousin removed. If they want a reading, they better have a TikTok. Sorry, new rule. What's your TikTok? TikTok is the Devine Witch 0. You can find me on there, my dear. If that's easier for you to message me, feel free. I'm always on there. I'm not trying to be mean. It's just it gets repetitive, especially when I'm jumping between two platforms. So if it does come off harsh, I do apologize. You're very welcome, Jess. I still have nightmares about it. Anna Marie. It's the right decision at the moment. But will it always be the right decision? Probably not. Just for the reason you can't let go and you got yourself guarded. Hello, Valley Queen, my dear. You're very welcome, my dear. I'm sorry that it wasn't any better news, but it's pretty much the gist of it. So, Valley Queen, would it be bold of me to say that you were Jess? Or am I wrong? Altogether, I've got like 20 people. Between this one and this one. Now, if I had more than one computer, I could actually do 4 of these at the same time. But it would get a little bit more confusing. YouTube channel you can find in my bio link. It just makes it easier than telling you the URL and everything, and it'll just take you right to it. By the way, guys, if you have any questions or anything that you want to talk about, feel free. I'm just kind of jumping in between TikTok and here. Give me 1 second. I refuse to even acknowledge that name. But it did make me laugh. Chicklins. Ooh, hello, Chicklins. Remember, my dears, over here, to actually get a reading, you actually have to comment something. If you've already had a reading, you've already done everything else, then you will have to wait until everyone else is done. Billy, would you like a reading tonight, my dear? I am giving readings. Hello, Amanda. I am a fellow Scorpio as well. How are you? Well, certainly, my dear. I've got two other people ahead of you, but if you don't mind waiting for me. Jicklin, there's some change coming, and you're not going to be able to stop it. So take it as a warning. Be ready for the change. You may not like it. It may hurt, but that's the fun part. Oh, Billy, whatever will I do with you and your crazy name? Bye, Val. Well, thank you, dear, for watching both on YouTube and on here. You gotta love that warm, fuzzy feeling. It's gotta be odd, though, because you're hearing me on one and then you're hearing me on the other. So is it kind of like, you know how like back in the day when you'd watch TV in one room and you hear somebody else in the same, like a room down the hallway? And does it have that like distance in between when you're watching it? I'm just curious. I am good. Hope you're well. Oh, wait. Well, thank you, my dear. Billy, are you still here or am I doing a reading for no one? Well, just in case you are, I got a few messages for you. Embrace spirit. Seek the truth and be patient. So right now it seems like you're going through a crisis. You're looking for a meaning to your life. You're searching for answers in all the wrong places. And it's time to take a step back. Learn patience. As long as you can do that, you'll be good. Well, if you actually add yourself, then you will get an extra reading if you are subscribed, which I will be checking. So, yeah. We had that issue last night where some were saying, oh, yes, I'm subscribing. No, you're not. Yeah. So, for Amanda, my dear, what do I got for you? What do we got for Amanda? Go with the flow, my dear. Sometimes we want to fight the current, but in fighting the current, we make it worse upon ourselves. So take the time and go with it. Because like all good things, things come out. And then you'll know. Hello, Reese from England. Yes, you may, my dear. Reese, you are getting a lot of people coming to you, but you're not listening. You're asking for advice and you're not taking it. You need to take it. You can go searching everywhere for what you want to hear and not get it. Sometimes what we want to hear is not what we need to hear. Hopefully that makes sense, because it makes no fucking sense for me. You are very welcome, Amanda. Give me 1 second. Let me verify that you have subscribed, my dear. Not saying that you're lying about it. It's just something I gotta do. By the way, for anyone over on TikTok, if you would like a reading, all you gotta do is comment below. That's it. Just a little comment. Subscribe. All right, dear. Let's go ahead. Oh no, Mommy don't got the kind of time for that. By the way, if you want a reading, feel free to comment down below. I do sell my Hecate oil. If you want Hecate oil, all you got to do is send me a message. We'll work out the PayPal arrangements. I don't charge that much. I charge about $10 for a bottle, and then whatever the shipping cost is to your area. And then when also you buy something, if you spend like $20 or more, you get a free handmade mask. Don't mean to be funny or anything, but I see a shit ton of sadness in your eyes. Actually, my dear, that is very good makeup. And the fact that for the last 4 days, I have had a little tag along, if you get my drift. Someone's been using me for a free ride and not in the fun way. I am working on it, my little chicklin. Oh, snap. Sometimes it's not always great being able to communicate with certain spirits. And me and my husband have been talking about it. By the way, as I'm talking, I'm going to be shuffling, thinking about you, Chicklin. But my husband's noticed. Oop, there we go. Change is unavoidable, my dear. You can't run from it. I love it when someone else like, give me another reading, and then it's the same card. Hopefully it was you, because then this would be awkward. But yeah, it's been really weird. And what gets me is there's more than one protection on my body. So that lets me know that that's somebody that I've accepted before. And I just haven't got to figure out who it is. I've got an idea, but I haven't got the full notion of who it is. Let's just put it this way. When they try to take over, or when they do, it's more of I get to speak, but I don't get control of all of my body. They do. So it's kind of messed up. All right, goodbye to you, and don't let the broom hit you on the way out. Sorry. I'm so sorry, my dear. When it comes to the spirits, unfortunately, they all have their own personality, just kind of like what we do. Hey guys, I'm going to jump off of here because there's things I can do on YouTube that I can't do here. So if you want to see me, head over to YouTube. Not you guys. You guys are fine. I'm staying on YouTube.
They had some children.
Like, I know the first house that I was in with my husband, the place underneath, it had like one of those old creepy storm cellars. And there was people who lived there before us that were part of demonic, goetic practices, which it is what it is. Mommy's messed with her demons too. But it left a really bad energy. So then when I started circle casting above and they were circle casting below, it didn't really work out too well. And my husband ended up getting dragged out of the bed, and I ended up having someone use me for pleasure with my husband and me not know till the next day. So that was fun. That was a baby witch experience that I never had again, and I never will. And that's a fact. Yeah. I really don't recommend it to anybody. And what was weird is I didn't know. I had no clue. He's like, yeah, the lights were on. Like, you're looking at me and you weren't saying nothing. I'm like, wouldn't that be a clue? He's like, I thought you were trying to be sexy. And I'm like, not that sexy. If I'm not speaking and I'm looking at you with this look, that means I'm not home. Just the lights are on. My mother-in-law tried to body snatch me the other night. We moved in after a week of throwing up and purging a particular spirit. It's been fighting ever since. Also, be careful. Just because you think it's mama doesn't mean it's mama. It could be someone acting who the energy that seems to be surrounding you from all the stuff that you were talking about might be welcoming things that you're not wanting to actually come around you. So, yeah. I would definitely do some protection over your house. Do a banishing first, then do a cleanse, and then seal your shit. Nothing can come in unless you warrant it. Exactly, Amanda. They got church demons, go figure. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Well, that's the thing. Like, when it comes to my practice and the things that I believe in, and being a history religious buff, it's all the same shit. And if you really look at what the Catholics do with the exorcisms and things like that, they go by the things that were written back in the times of the pagans. And they're just hidden because it's the church. It's what the church does. They hide things until they can't hide it no more. And then they try to cover it up. And then when they can't cover it up, you know, they elect a pope who's like, hey, everybody's okay. Exactly. It's all the craft. It just depends on how you want to slice it. The only thing I don't like is when people say, you know, diabetes is a demon. Like, that's some old world church shit. We have science for a reason. There's a medical reason to why this is happening. This is why Catholics have certain things that they have to do before they can do an exorcism to make sure, one, you're physically and mentally stable. Hello, Jess. And it's all in the craft. Were you into this kind of thing as a child? What is your earliest memory of spiritualism? By the way, I will give readings again for anybody who wants it. I'm just kind of taking a little bit of break. But my earliest childhood memory was every time I would go to sleep. I remember being in my room, and every night that I would go to sleep, I would just stare into the darkness. And I would see faces come out of the darkness. And the things that I would see would scare the crap out of me. And this happened for about a good 5 years until I got to the point to where I got used to it. Like, when you're a little child, like I was probably like 4 when I had my first real memory of it. And just seeing like half of a man's face like burned. I mean, like real bad burned. Makes Freddy Krueger look like a dream date. You know what I mean? Like that kind of stuff. And then it was just messed up. That house was all fucked up anyway. And as I grew up, I understand now why it was such a messed up place, because of its location, because of the geometric shape that the house was made in, and the area that we were surrounded by was like some old world, in the mountains type of magic BS. And then right close to our house was an Indian burial ground, not including I could look out my front door and see the mountains overhead. And if you know anything about the mountains carry a lot of shit. And like my mom, she would deny it. Like, she denied so many things when we were growing up. And as we got older and I'm talking to her about it, she's like, you know, I heard this stuff. There was things I seen. That's why I wasn't at the house that much. And I don't want to think about it, because when you think about it, that's when it shows up. That's how my mom was. And I'm like, so all the time that I'm seeing all this shit, and you're just like, oh no, it's nothing. There's nothing. It's all right. Okay, thanks, Mom. How sweet of you. But after she passed, I understood. You know, we want to protect our children as much as we can. And it's hard when you can't fight something that you've never seen. My mom was not by any means a spiritual person whatsoever. I'm not going to say she didn't believe in God, because she believed in God, but it wasn't until she got cancer, and that's when she really became spiritual and stuff like that. But she was never a churchgoer or someone who did all that. But, there was people in my family who messed with things. And yeah, it was traumatic in this book. But it kind of helped me, and I guess kind of shaped me into who I am. But there was one story that always went around in our family. And it was when my aunt and my mom were younger, and they had played with the Ouija board. Well, when they did, my aunt was still married to her husband that I knew growing up. And whatever happened, they never really told the full story. All they said is that stuff's bad. You don't need to mess with it, and proceeded to continue to talk about things being thrown, growls in the house and stuff like that. And they were the type of people to where they kept remodeling things all the time and changing things up. And every time you would go to their house was like a 20-acre farm. Like, it was really pretty. Maybe one day I can pull out pictures and show you guys, because that's part of where I grew up. That's why I kind of love nature, because I got to do a lot more there than I did at my own house. But you always got that odd feeling of like someone was watching you there. And that same feeling is the same feeling I got at my house. I never really seen anything on their property, but you always got that vibe that someone is just always watching you. Even when everybody was asleep at the house, it was just an odd place. And I did not like it. I didn't like the feeling. I liked the adventure and the things I got to do when I was there, but I didn't like the whole vibe I would get when I was there. So, yeah. Another weird thing when I was growing up, since you got me started on it, Reese. When I was younger, I was probably about 7 when it started happening. I learned to astral project. And at first, I didn't really know what it was. It started out where I was in my room, and at the time, I was on new epilepsy medication. And I remember getting ready to fall asleep because the medication would make you sleepy. Like anybody who doesn't know, whenever you have seizures and they switch up your medication, you get really tired until they figure out the proper dose. And so I would sleep a lot. Well, then it started from sleeping a lot, and I had been on it at this point for about a month, but it just always made me tired. That's why they prescribed it more at night than they did during the day. And I remember getting ready to go to sleep, and I kept on hearing this music come from my closet. And it wasn't like, lullaby music or that stupid stuff. No, it sounded more like club music. And here's the thing. I lived in Manchester, home of country and like nothing to do. And at that age, all I ever thought music wise is that there was gospel and country music, which is a horrible way to live for a child. But that's beside the point. So it was something different. And I remember being asleep, not being asleep, but being awake thinking, I'm going to check that out. But what I didn't realize is I had already passed out. And I was actually astrally projecting. And I did this for about until I was 11. So however many years it is in between 7 and 11. And then when we moved out of that house, It never happened again. Like, I never had that experience. But literally every day and every night, if I wanted to get away from the house because there was too much negativity or too much bad energy, I could literally go to sleep, astrally project, and end up in that spot. And I remember what the man looks like. I remember what the place looked like. Like, it was the most entertaining, fucked up thing ever. And I'll tell you about it if you guys want to know about it. I just realized the music hasn't been playing for a while. I know, right? That's the kind of childhood I grew up in. I'm going to play music because I just realized how quiet it is. And of course, we are going to get crap. But to be honest, I think without those experiences, I don't think I would be in the path that I'm in. So, the place that I went to, um, I'll tell you my first experience and then I'll elaborate. So, when I went into the closet, it looked like there was a beam of light. And I went up this beam of light. Thank you, baby. Sorry, we got caught up in talking and the whole tarot thing just kind of went whoosh. That's the thing. For the longest time, I wasn't able to astro project after that. Like, it took me years to get it back. Because it was one of those things where, like, I know you guys have seen the videos where they tell you, before, you get to that stage where you're, like, super tired. And they tell you, just raise up, but leave your body behind. That kind of thing. That's what I would do. And, there was a few times I would look at my body, but I'm like, I've done this before, so it didn't really freak me out. But when we left that house, it was like something prevented me for the longest time. And it literally took me until about 3 or 4 years ago to start being able to do it again. And that's because I had to try a different method. So I don't know what it was. But as far as the place, like the first time that I went there, like I said, there was this light and I ended up going through it. And give me 1 second. And the place that I ended up at, like, it was 2 floors, but I ended up on the top floor. And the way the top floor is you have this long wooden hallway. It was stained. I mean, it looked like an old mansion, you know what I mean? Like someone way later would have lived in. And the way it was set up, like, you had a railing on this side and you had a bunch of space over here. And then you had these, like, little bitty corridors. And if you walked past the corridors, like, they were probably, like, maybe big enough for someone that's maybe, I don't know, half of my size. Like, it wasn't meant for someone that's super huge, you know what I mean, or bigger. And I remember walking past it, and there was 2 people there making out. And at the time, I'm 7. I don't know what the fuck making out is. My parents are old as shit, to be frank, and be honest about it. But they're old. So I'm like, that's something that they really don't do. I don't know why. Some people do it. Some people don't. They weren't the type to show love and affection. And I remember looking at them and I'm like, they look weird. Like, their eyes look weird. But I couldn't figure it out. You know what I mean? And I remember they stopped what they were doing. They bent down and they looked at me and was like, what are you doing here? Like, all creepy and shit. And then I'm like, I don't know you. I don't want to be around you. And then I ran into this guy. Well, like I was saying, the way it was set up, like, if you keep on going straight, you would see 2 double doors. But if you made a right, there was the other part of the balcony overhang. So the balcony overhang was kind of like this. So here's where I was walking. And I ended up going this way instead of just forward. But I remember running into this guy, and I look at him, I'm like, who are you? And he's like, are you okay? I was like, yeah. I was like, I don't know who they are, and I don't like them. And he's like, well, you're all right. You're with me now. So I go with him, and we go sit in this chair, and I'm just watching everybody play and dance, and they had music and the whole 9 yards. I never thought anything of it. And that was like my first experience. Well, as time went on, I learned that it was a place where everyone was accepted and anyone could come there, no matter who they were, no matter what they believed, no matter what they were. And that's where I seen a lot of things that my husband freaks out about. It was definitely different. And like I had told my husband about it around this first when we got together. Because when I met him, he was a Southern Baptist, and I'm like, the last thing I want to do is freak some guy out that I like. But we started talking about spirits and stuff, and that was one of the first accounts I actually shared with him. Because that's not something that you can share with everybody. I mean, now I don't care, but back then it's like this was around the early 2000s, so we're just coming right out of the 90s. You know what I mean? And anybody who grew around the 90s, you knew the mindset. It's not like today where, you can talk about things freely. Some things have been explained, some things have not. As far as like you were saying, passion, other dimensions is a possibility, and more people are subscribing to that notion. So it's easier to explain things like this. And, as far as like astral projection, that's something that, now people can talk about it, and there's stories of people astrally projecting and seeing things, or the government documents coming out talking about remote viewing, which is pretty much the same thing. So, in this day and age, it's easier to talk about it than it was then. And even he was like, you need to write a book. I was like, I can't write the book. I'm not doing that. And he's like, it sounds like a place of a crossroads. I was like, well, it's fitting then, because I ended up following Crossroad Goddess. And the sad thing is, I missed the guy that I seen. Like, the dude that I seen who was really nice, he had this long, beautiful black hair, black eyes, dressed to the fucking nine. And he was a beautiful creature. He really was. And he always treated me with respect. I never felt threatened. I never felt like I was in any danger. He looked like something that Anne Rice would have wrote about, or Buffy the Vampire Slayer might have had on, or Angel, or something like that. You know what I mean? That dark aesthetic where it's like, they're going to come get you. But it wasn't like that. It's more relaxed. Now, with that being said, he was like that. Not everybody there was like that. As the kids would call it today, thoughts, there was a few times there was some hoes. I didn't know what they were at the time, but I walked up on some situations within that realm that were not the best for a child that size, which could explain why my kinkster ways are the way they are. Who knows? I don't know. But yeah. That's a little bit about me. What about you guys? What is some of the weirdest stuff that's ever happened to you? What was your first spiritual experience? And if you don't mind typing it out and telling me, then I will read it, because I will try to put this video automatically post anyway. I don't do it. It just does it on its own. I'm pretty sure it'll be flagged for some music or something like that, but we'll see. It's not like I'm looking to make millions off of YouTube. Which, by the way, I still think it's stupid that you have to have 1,000 people before you can go live on your phone, but yet I can get on here on my computer and go live. It makes no sense. So stupid. Well, while you guys are typing away, I'm going to get me something to drink because I talk a lot. The reason I've been doing more lives is because I kind of like you guys. I mean, not to sound like an asshole, but you guys are a little bit more engaging than the people I got on TikTok. Not saying my TikTok audience isn't good. I guess it depends on what you define as good or bad, but there's not a whole lot of traction as far as lives go, and I don't know if it's algorithm or what it is, but it's driving me nuts. Because I like to engage with people. I like to work off of other people. Because if I don't have other people, I'm like this. And that's boring. That's boring for me. I can imagine someone else scrolling through going, well, that's boring. My first one was when I had an out-of-body experience. I walked in front of my bathroom door was open, and I was looking at myself, and then I tried to cut my hair. Exactly. I don't like that. Exactly, right? That is odd. My first was an out-of-body experience. I walked into front of my bathroom. The door was open, and I was looking at myself, and then I tried to cut my hair. Question is, when you had your out-of-body experience, when you got back into your body, were you trying to cut, was your hair cut? I've always wondered if some people, I know it happens to them when they have an outer body experience, that their body will actually move in those ways, maybe not in the same location. And I'm just kind of curious if that was one of those things. Never cut my hair, but I scalped some of the Barbies I had. I don't know. I just never liked Barbies with long hair. But yet I'm a woman who loves her hair long now. I would love to, they say that you lose innocence from when you're a kid because we get told, oh, that's not real or this or that. But, if we once had innocent coming into the world as far as like a purist standpoint of, people telling us, oh, that's not here or whatever, you would think that we'd be able to tap into it a lot more than what people actually do. Like for some people, they can never achieve that level of acknowledgement ever again. I had an experience with another being, not in physical, have sex with me. I never thought that stuff was possible. Curl. The stories I could tell you. There's sometimes that, like, and that's what I tell people, like, when it comes to dreams and feeling and all that. If you wake up more tired than when you went to bed, you weren't sleeping. Last full moon, I took my Hecate figure and was burning incense. Decided to take a pic, and a wolf figure came out behind her out of the smoke. It was beautiful. I wonder if it means she likes me. She really likes me. Ooh. Um, could be one of her dogs because back in the day, black dogs were sacrificed to her. So it does make sense. And then you got to think about the whole Cerberus thing and Hecate. It's a whole thing. See, if that was me, normally after ritual, I'm drunk. I would be trying to ride the wolf. Oh my God, that's officially how I'm saying it from now on. When I'm drunk, I'm going to say, "Mommy was riding the wolf." I don't know why I'm so good at a Russian accent, but I am. Mm, I love wolves. I'm attracted. I don't know why. I think wolves are beautiful creatures. Um, I think what it is they're beautiful, but yet dangerous. And it adds an element of mystery and something that we all wish we could obtain, even those who don't want to admit it. Not to mention, if you're a kinkster like me, you like a little bit of primal. A little hunt and release. At least that's how I've always seen it. It's like back in the day back in the day, it was like, what, 10 years ago, maybe at the most, Twilight. Are you Team Jacob or are you Team Edward? I'm like, I'm Team fuck this shit. I'm over it. But I grew up in like the 80s and 90s where vampires didn't sparkle. They bit you and tried to kill you. And then if you didn't kill them, you die. Not you go play baseball in the middle of the field. I mean, it's a great concept, but I don't think the landing was quite right. And I think that's something that gets lost in our community. I mean, as if you think about like mythology, a lot of mythology has been misconstrued so bad. And as it goes, we always romanticize about different things. And I think the romanticizing of things that are dark is because they're dark, you know what I mean? Or we perceive them as dark. Makes the blood boil, makes you more excited. Because you don't know if you're going to make it out alive, which I think is an adrenaline junkie's dream. So I don't really know. If you guys don't mind me asking, what is your perception of good and evil? Do you consider your perception the same as society's, or do you have your own moral detector um, that you judge that scale on? Manifestation versus prayer. Who's the debate between, if you don't mind me asking? Hello, Libra. Welcome to the shit show. I guess I could do some readings while I'm trying to do some stuff. I know my daughter's awake. I'm trying to get her to come down. Give me one moment. But we can still talk spooky stuff and stuff we want to talk about. I don't know. I don't think it even to play as if you're karma. You're having a debate on Facebook. I don't know. I don't think it's even to play as if you're karma. They said they don't like how people are trying to replace prayer with manifestation. But prayer is manifestation. You're praying to manifest. I'll tell you what, the small minds of people amuses me. That's like me saying I don't want the lottery money, but I bought a lottery ticket. Ridiculous. Yes, my dear, you may. It's just like some of the debates that, you know what, I've got to say this. And maybe it's because I'm a smaller channel on here. And this has nothing to do with like what we're talking about. But I have yet to have one other pagan, Wiccan, occult YouTuber reach out to me and say anything like, hey, welcome to the community, or like, how are you doing? You know, I mean, something, you know what I mean? And we always talk about community and building a community, but I haven't really felt much of a community on here. Now, there's a few people from TikTok that we both follow each other, but it's not like a greeting. And I know they've seen my videos because one of the Hecate videos has got like almost 3,000 likes. I may not have the numbers, but I do have the views. Give me 1 minute. I promise, Alyssa, I will get you that reading. Just give me 1 second, my dear. I mean, I don't think it's evil to play as if you're karma. I don't think it's evil either. I think, you know, if someone hurts you, then you have the right to defend yourself. Hello, dear. Hello? Hey, will you bring me my computer charger? Thanks. Bye. I don't know why my daughter always wants to FaceTime me. Right, I tried to reach out to a few I'm attracted to before I started reading. I was interacting and into tarot. How does... Don't hit me with it. No, you're fine. Hey, but you guys do have to be going to bed here soon. Yeah. If you would, take the dogs out real quick and start getting ready for bed, my dear. Thank you. Okay, give me 1 second. You know what? Let me do this real quick so I can get it out of the way. I'm not saying I'm trying to rush you, but I feel like I keep on pushing you to the back burner. Give me a second, guys, and I'll get back into conversation. What do we have for Miss Alyssa? What information do I have for Alyssa? What information do I have for Alyssa? Aha! Alyssa, love without condition. Right now, I feel like you're not understanding why someone's doing something, but you need to get past that annoyed feeling you're getting and try to get more to a place of understanding. Just because you don't understand it doesn't mean you can't have those feelings of understanding. Hopefully that makes sense. Because that's the one that flung at me. I don't think it's good or karma, right? I tried to reach out a few times. How does blank feel about me currently? Libra gang. You're very welcome, my dear. Thank you for oh, thank you. I'm sorry that you had to wait for so long. See, that's the problem. I'm like a squirrel. I get on tangents and there we go. I'm going to give Kay a name. How does Kyle feel about passion currently? Embrace the feminine. Share your thoughts. Well, he's got Kyle now. Stay strong, or she. It seems like there's more of a, this is what I'm allowing you to see versus what you want them to see. And then on them, they love the fact that you're different. They love the fact that you're unique. And they want you to be more open with them and share those thoughts. Well, thank you, my dear. I try to be an interesting conversationalist. It works better when I have some people to talk to and not my voices. Good night, my dear. Yes, take all the puggies with you. I want to know if there's a third party. Third party for what? I think there's always the old saying that, we have the face that we show everyone, the face that we show our friends and family, and then the face that never gets to see the light of day. Ooh. Okay, give me a minute. Give me 1 minute. I love these type of readings. Reveal your truth. Someone's playing detective. Let go of the old. So here's my question. Just because of the way that it popped up. Are you thinking it's someone from the past? See the signs. Here's your fucking sign. It's from the past, and it's here. There's your sign. By the way, for any husbands who get pissed off that their wife found out that they're a cheating asshole and they decide to go bob it on your ass, I am not held responsible for that. Good luck in your sexual adventures. I just feel like I need to put that out there so that way nobody tries to come at me or try to find me because my face is up here, and I'm not about that life. I will shank you and use your blood for my sacrifices. Just saying. So if you don't want to be a ritual sacrifice, don't fuck with me. But my dear, I am sorry. I know I'm making jokes. I'm trying to be light of the situation. But it does look like they have somebody coming in from the past and they're fucking with your present. Now that tells me that he's a piece. And the reason that I say he's a piece because if he's going to go back to the old bullshit, then he doesn't value you or who you are. And you've already known because you've been playing detective and you're just waiting for him to, finally fuck up big enough to where you can be like, oh yeah, motherfucker, I know. No, fucking call him out on it. Kick his ass to the curb or take him for everything he's got and then serve him some papers, whatever you got to do, however you got to do it. Take that shit, make him your bitch, and then scoot him the fuck along. That's my opinion. But who am I? I'm just a little witch. A little witch bitch, that is. I hate assholes that are like that. But as soon as I seen the first card, I was like, ooh. So you get to play with the two different sides. My dogs are trying to come out to come play with me, but my daughters will not let them. Well, of course he likes to twist things around. He likes to make you feel like it's all your fault and you're the one being psychopath about it, that it's not really going on. It's all just in your head. That's a mind fuck. And you know what we do to mind fucks? We say, fuck you, and we move on. After we make sure that we get everything that they own and everyone knows that they're a dick. Ugh. I love doing revenge spells, just so you know, my dear. Mm-hmm. Well, of course. That's normally how you know someone's cheating. They will accuse you of cheating when in fact they're the one cheating. And see, here's the thing. I've had my cousin, Jesus. Just thinking about my cousin because recently she just went through this issue. And let me tell you what she did to him, I can't repeat on here, but it was good. It's that kind of good that I'll be in my 70s telling that story. That's the kind of good it was. I can tell you one part of it, but it's only one. She put, well, yeah. She ended up, okay. This is only two of the small little things. And this is part of the way that she truly found out. She changed the detergent that she was washing the laundry in to what she knew the other person was allergic to that they were cheating on her with. And then when that girl came up and was talking about it, that she didn't know why, that she had to go to the doctor, and they were like, oh, it's your soap and all that. That was one. And then one of the other things that she did, and this was more specifically towards him, is she replaced lube that she had found in his car with icy hot. That was just two of the things that she did. She did this shit for months. Months. And the longer it went, the worse it got. That was just the starter level. That wasn't the finish line. That was the beginning. Let's just put it this way. When the final act, how do I word this without outing anybody? The final act was caught not only by her, but his whole side of the family, even his 80-year-old grandma. It was good. I was there when it happened. Oh, it was so good. Mm-mm. Like, I'm not hating, women can just be as devious as ever, but when it came to payback, I was proud. I brought over a bottle when it was all done, and I was like, touche, bitch, touche. Mm-mm. Well, that's what I'm saying. Passion, like being able to know everything that's going on, and just, it's like watching a really slow burn where you're just seeing a little bit at a time come out. And that's the thing. People can only take so much. And that's why I'm an advocate for like mental health and um, abuse victims. And my mom was an abuse victim with multiple men, and I dealt with abuse. I get that. Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, you just gotta gotta go with whatever it is, and you gotta make your own decision. Like, one of the worst things that I hate to see is when someone keeps on going back. And I know it's a whole mind fuck, and that's what I was trying to explain to a friend of mine because she couldn't understand why her brother kept on going back to this girl. I'm like, dude, Stockholm syndrome. Just because it's not like what you think would cause Stockholm doesn't mean that it's not happening. Like, that's a thing. That you get used to the abuse. That's what you think that you deserve. No matter if it's mental, physical, or spiritual. Can you guys believe that we've almost been on here for 2 hours? It's crazy. It was like my husband, he was like, how many lives are you going to do in one day? I was like, as many as I want. I was like, I got no one else to talk to when you're here. And I've got nothing else to do right now. So why not get on here and talk to my lovely, lovely people? Because I get to know you guys. You know what I mean? Like, that's the thing. I kind of like doing lives like this I get to know you. You get to know me. It's not me just saying, okay, witches, here's what you got to do, or here's what you get to know about. It just makes it, to me, it makes it feel more of a connection. You know what I mean? Like when I talk about welcome to the Divine Witch family or welcome, to the Divine Witch, it's not me just saying it to get followers. I actually fucking mean it. I consider this the land of the misfits. The damned and the broken get to come here and play, and no one judges you on how you are or even how you behave. Just don't be a dick. If you're not a dick, we're cool. Plus, with like social media like this, I think that's what we're all kind of like looking for anyway. We're all looking for people to be able to connect with and get to know and talk with. And I'm going to go spying. Oh, you're such a cutie. I ain't going to tell you which one I said who's cute, but you are a cutie. Adorbs. Well, that's what I'm saying. Like a lot of the groups that's around the area, because we all get together occasionally on Zoom and talk. They always talk about like it's hard to get people to like get online. I'm like, sometimes you win, sometimes you don't. And then when you do and you get good people, you can't beat it. Because right now, all we got is really time. It's not like there's a whole bunch going on. Which I'm so sad. I made a whole 40-minute video on Hades today. And I went and I edited the whole thing, came back to check the process, and the full 40-minute video got corrupted. And the application that I used wasn't on my computer because for some reason my computer's been glitching, like my actual laptop. So every time I would record something, it's like, oh, it's recording. And then I go to upload it and it didn't record nothing. So I've been using this online application called WeVideo. And it messed up on me. So now I got to redo that whole 40-minute video, which sucks because there were some really good key points in there. It's one of those things like when you start something and it's really good and you get that feeling like, am I going to be able to really recreate the same energy? Oh, I'm so glad that you understand passion. It sucks. I would throw my computer, but I use my computer too much to throw my computer. And that's the bad thing. It's a freaking Chromebook. I should have known. Oh. See, that's what I hate too. I would like to get to the point to where like I get an upgrade on my computer, an upgrade on my system. I would like to get Wii Video permanently so I can get rid of that little Wii Video up here in the corner because it drives me nuts. There's a few pagan singers who are here in Ohio who gave me permission to use their songs for like intros and stuff. So I want to kind of go back through there and do the intro and make it look all pretty, you know what I mean? Because I try to make it look formal as I possibly can. Because I'm not saying I'm against big YouTubers, because I'm not. But I noticed a lot of the bigger pagan YouTubers they have a pretty decent following, but I don't feel like they connect with a lot of their followers that great. Which I don't think I'm ever going to get to that point, just for the reason being the way my channel's designed right now. And plus, it's a lot of work when you're just one person. Because my coven is so busy doing their stuff, it's not been able to help out quite a bit. And then when it comes to technical stuff anyway, I'm choosy and picky. Like, there's a few big, and then, like, the aesthetic of it. Like, as you guys can tell, my hair's a freaking mess. My makeup is like, it's been a long day kind of makeup. You know what I mean? Like, it's starting to do its own thing, and you can tell. And, like, and it's kind of like the same thing on Witch Talk a little bit. You see all of these, what I like to call glamour witch vids, if that makes sense. And it's more of like, this is the aesthetic I think you want to see rather than what I really am like. You know what I mean? Like, not everybody comes out looking like Glinda the Good Witch every day. It just doesn't happen. Not everybody talks about the same love and light stuff every day. Like, and maybe it's because they try to make it more aesthetically pleasing, or, you know, that's what their audience liked in the beginning. I'm not really sure. Who did it and why? That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm here for those witches who were like, I barely got my hair done today. I barely put on makeup. You're lucky I'm wearing an outfit and not PJs. And I'm like, I live for it. That's just kind of how I am. Plus, you know, when it gets time of that seasonal depression, if you go through some of my videos, I look like, oh, like you said, who did it and why? But, you know, I don't know. It just shows all sides. And I think that's like, you know, I think of it as if I was a younger witch, seeing all this perfect here and there and this or that. And to me, it feels like it puts on a bad perception. Like, you have to have all these tools and be this artsy or look this certain way to have that witchy vibe. And it's nothing like that. And that's why you get people who come into the craft, or even kids coming into it going, but I don't have this, or I need this, or feeling like they have to ask someone else that they're learning from for permission to do something when they don't get that right. It's your life. Do as you will. Just heed the bullshit. It's a hobby. Hello, dear. So, can you guess what I'm doing? Yeah. I wonder if there is a way that I can pause this for a minute. We shall see. I don't know if that's working. Toggle live stream. I don't know. I don't know. So how's work going? Well, look, my dears, I'm going to jump off here. Talk to you guys tomorrow.